Hello guys, Growth is here. Today I'll explain every single Navi clan that exists in the Avatar universe, focusing on 6 clans in the movies, but also covering all other interesting clans from the extended lore, the comics, and the video games. Cameron mentioned that future films, if they happen, will explore other clans like the North Pole Navi, Desert Navi, and others. But let's begin with Forest, Water, Fire, and Air clans. The Omatikaya Clan, translated as the Blue Flute Clan, represents the ideological and spiritual core of the Avatar universe. One of Pandora's most ancient rainforest clans, the Omatikaya have lived for hundreds of generations in deep symbiosis with their environment. Their identity is inseparable from Eywa, the planetary consciousness they serve. And what's really special about the Omatikaya is that their sacred duty is being the guardians of the Tree of Souls. This role places them at the narrative center of the franchise. They are not just another Navi tribe, but the crucial clan protecting Eywa. Physically, Omatikaya Navi have the lean build with cyan blue skin, typical of the forest Navi, adept at climbing and moving through thick foliage. Culturally, the Omatikaya are defined by craftsmanship, ritual, and communal cohesion. They are hunter-gatherers with no written language or currency, organized instead around shared labor and collective memory. Unlike other clans that specialize in carving or pottery, the Omatikaya are master weavers. They make textiles, hammocks, saddles, bowstrings, ceremonial garments, and even toys, which are then exchanged with the Wind Trader's tribe. Various rituals govern the transition between life stages. Iknimaya binds hunters to their Ikron through Tsahilu, while Unil the Dream Hunt, induces a hallucinogenic trance that reveals their spiritual identity and marks true adulthood. And there is a much longer version of Jake's initiation scene that was deleted. Only after this trance ceremony may a Navi carve a bow from the home tree and choose a mate. Death is equally ritualized. Bodies are returned to the roots of the tree, accompanied by song chords and wood sprites, reinforcing the belief that memory and identity of the dead reside within Eywa. Historically, the Omatikaya are shaped by mythic exception. Their legends begin with Entu, the first Turuk Makto, who united clans to save the Tree of Souls. He also established Turuk Makto as a title reserved for existential crisis. That legend culminates in Jake Sully, the 6th Turuk Makto, whose rise reframes Omatikaya tradition through an outsider lens. Leadership among the Omatikaya traditionally rests with a mated Tolayektan and Tsahik, blending spiritual and military stewardship, a balance repeatedly tested by war. The clan's defining historical trauma is their contact with humanity. As the first Navi to engage humans diplomatically, the Omatikaya became controversial among other clans. Early cooperation, most notably through Grace Augustine's schoolhouse, collapsed after attacks on sacred sites, the killing of Navi children, and the death of Sulwanen, Neytiri's sister. These events radicalized the clan and culminated in the RDA's destruction of their 20,000-year-old home tree, a turning point that transformed resistance into holy war. In the first movie, the successful defense of the Tree of Souls and the expulsion of the RDA marked Eywa's first open intervention, which reinforced Omatikaya's belief that balance will ultimately answer aggression. In the aftermath of the first movie, the Omatikaya abandon permanent settlement, disperse into the forest, and later establish high camp in the Hallelujah Mountains as a defensive measure, since human machinery and navigation don't work there due to high magnetic fields. Between the first and the second movie, under Jake's leadership, the Omatikaya adopt guerrilla tactics while preserving ritual and hierarchy. Eventually, Jake relinquishes leadership to Tarsem to protect his family. He decides to leave to the Reef Clan to make sure Quaritch can't find him. According to tradition, an old Olayektan must be killed by his successor, which is why symbolically Tarsem cuts Jake. Interestingly, Jake actually killed Tute in the deleted scene, officially taking his clan leader position. The bow is the Omatikaya's most revered weapon, representing the strength of their ancestors. When Neytiri's father dies, his bow passes to Neytiri, transforming the weapon into a living symbol of Omatikaya legacy rather than a mere tool of war. From that point on, the bow functions as a visual and thematic proxy for Neytiri herself. This symbolism is pushed even further in Avatar: The Way of Water, where the bow is broken during the final battle. It perfectly mirrors Neytiri's psychological state, displaced, grieving, and severed from the forest identity that once defined her. In Avatar: Fire and Ash, Neytiri is also physically broken, further mirroring the bow. However, eventually she heals, just as Loak fixes her bow, so the bow's repair is not cosmetic but narrative. Its restoration signals the reconstruction of Neytiri's inner strength, purpose, and connection to her warrior lineage. The weapon's arc tracks her own inheritance, rupture, and rebirth. When Jake gathers clans for the final battle in the first and third movies, we briefly see a few other clans. The Olangi clan, also known as Plains Horse Clan. The Olangi were a nomadic Navi clan roaming the open savannas near the Omatikaya's territory. Led by their chief Eywa, the Olangi built their lifestyle around the six-legged dire horse of Pandora, which they rode as skilled cavalry. In the story, the Olangi's bravery proved both defining and tragic. In the first movie, Eywa and his riders charged into the Battle of the Hallelujah Mountains on dire horses, attempting to swarm the RDA's armored columns. They fought ferociously but were fiercely outmatched by human firepower. The clan suffered devastating losses, more Olangi warriors fell than from any other clan in that final battle. Eywa's own son was killed and the clan was nearly wiped out. After this tragedy, the surviving Olangi members could no longer sustain an independent clan, so they were eventually integrated with the Omatikaya after the RDA's defeat. Another clan that we witnessed in the first Avatar and Fire and Ash is Tayrangi clan, or the Eastern Sea Ikran people. The Tayrangi clan is the coastal Navi clan famed for its exceptional banshee riders. They reside along the sea cliffs and beaches of Pandora's eastern sea, where the dense forest meets ocean spray. Culturally, this clan's defining trait is its bond with the mountain banshees Ikran that nest in the seaside cliffs. Tayrangi riders are aerial aces who undergo strict training to master high-speed diving maneuvers on their Ikrans. In a unique hunting method, Tayrangi hunters will dive with their banshees straight into the ocean to snatch fish and elusive aquatic prey underwater, then burst back into the sky, an astonishing feat of coordination between Navi and Mount. And there's actually a deleted scene in which Neytiri performs this exact maneuver. The coastal lifestyle made them strong swimmers and given them great knowledge of both sea's rhythms and the wind's currents. Tayrangi often wear ocean-inspired decorations. For example, their leader Ekina is depicted with bold face paint and possibly beads or fins on her outfit reflecting the sea. The Tayrangi appear briefly in Avatar 2009 during the final battle. Jake Sully as Turuk Makto calls upon 15 clans, including the Tayrangi, to join the fight. And the same thing happens in Avatar: Fire and Ash. Their first in-depth lore appearance was expanded in post-film tie-in materials, explaining their coastal lifestyle. The clan has also been referenced in games like Avatar: Pandora Rising. Overall, the Tayrangi embody a blend of sea and sky. However, the clan that fully embraces the ocean lifestyle is the Metkayina clan, or Reef Navi. Introduced in Avatar: The Way of Water 2022, the Metkayina are an oceanic Navi clan inhabiting the tropical reefs of the Eastern Sea. They live on island atolls and coastal shallows, making their homes in hut-like pods built on the massive mangrove-like trees along the shoreline. This is probably one of the most thought-of clans, as it's widely known that James Cameron is obsessed with diving and water. So Cameron put the most amount of detail in that clan. Every single aspect of Metkayina life is connected to the ocean. They dwell and surf among coral reefs and lagoons, and even bury their dead in sacred seawater at the Cove of Ancestors. Because of generations by the sea, the Metkayina have evolved distinct physical adaptations for marine life. They have broader tails, thick forearms with paddle-like extensions, and a protective membrane over their eyes, all of which helps in swimming and prolonged diving. Metkayina's skin is a lighter teal hue with flowing stripe and ripple-like patterns. Also, many individuals get elaborate tattoos on their arms and torsos that signify their clan identity and achievements. The clan members, especially the warriors, are barrel-crested and powerful in the upper body, reflecting the strength needed for free diving and taming large aquatic animals. Culturally, the Metkayina are deeply interconnected with the ocean creatures and the water itself. They form a spiritual brotherhood with the Tolkun, Pandora's intelligent whale-like beings, considering them literal spirit sisters or brothers. Metkayina daily life revolves around the water. They fish from giant seawall terraces and navigate the waves using Ilu, their equivalent of dire horse. In the rites of passage, young Metkayina must tame the fearsome skingwing, becoming capable ocean warriors much as forest Navi tame banshees. Their villages like Awa'atlu, led by chiefs Tonawari and Ronal, are protected by natural reef barriers that break the heavy surf. The Metkayina were welcoming hosts to Jake Sully's family when he sought refuge by the sea. In the way of water, Jake, Neytiri, and their children were granted Uturu, or sanctuary, with the Metkayina. The Metkayina play a major role in the film's narrative. They are the largest of Pandora's reef clans and embody the element of water in the saga's thematic spectrum. If Omatikaya embody the forest, Metkayina the water, then the next clan introduced in Fire and Ash embodies the way of the air, which is the Talim clan, also known as the Wind Traders. The Talim clan, often called Wind Traders, are a nomadic Navi whose entire way of life revolves around movement, exchange, and the open skies of Pandora. Traveling aboard airborne caravans lifted by Medusoid creatures and wind trays, they move along trade routes shaped by seasonal winds. They stop by population centers to exchange artifacts and goods produced by various clans. Rather than using currency, the Talim barter goods instead, and they often trade food, tools, textiles, crystals, and decorative beads. Wind traders also serve as messengers and storytellers who carry news, culture, and traditions between distant clans. Their arrival at a settlement is often seen as a joyful occasion, marked by celebration, music, and feasting, earning them widespread respect among the Navi. Philosophically, they view the wind as the guiding force of existence, something that provides opportunity but can just as easily take it away. This belief is tragically reinforced by the fact that their caravans are repeatedly attacked by another Navi clan, Mankwan. In Fire and Ash, Wind Traders agree to help Jake and his family reach the Omatikaya Clan in the forest in exchange for protecting them. The Mankwan did attack Wind Traders indeed, leading to heavy losses that would have been even greater if Jake wasn't there. Ultimately, at least one of the caravans crashed, leading to the death of their leader, Palak. And that leads us to the most aggressive clan on Pandora, the Ash People. The Menkwan clan, better known as the Ash People, are positioned in Avatar Fire and Ash as a radical ideological fracture within Navi civilization. Once culturally comparable to forest clans like the Omatikaya, the Menkwan were reshaped by a catastrophe. A volcanic eruption annihilated their home tree and villages, killing large numbers of their people in extreme prolonged suffering. When their prayers to Eywa went unanswered, the clan interpreted survival not as balance but as abandonment. That moment becomes the psychological rupture that defines everything they are. Under the frantic leader Varang, who serves simultaneously as Oloyektan and Sahik, the Menkwan evolved into a survivalist cult built on rage and aggression. Varang, herself a child survivor of the eruption, reorganized the clan during famine and collapse, earning loyalty through competence rather than spiritual authority. So the result is a society that rejects the three laws of Eywa, dismisses the Great Balance, and treats nature as hostile rather than sacred. Their belief system is not nihilistic but adversarial. Power, conquest, and preemptive violence are framed as rational responses to a world that failed them. Interestingly, Varang flies, a night wraith creature that is an especially rare aerial predator different from a mountain banshee, which distinguishes Varang even more from other Navi. Night wraiths' weird flying patterns and high speed explain why Varang was able to outmaneuver Neytiri and other Navi that flew mountain banshees. Culturally, the Ash people are defined by inversion. When other Navi worship connection to Eywa, the Menkwan ritualize disconnection. Fire replaces Eywa as their central symbol. Destructive, purifying, and in Varang's own words, the only pure thing left in this world. Ash-covered skin, red and black war paint, shaved hair, piercings, and body modifications visually signal their rejection of Pandora's norms. Militarily and politically, the Menkwan are the most dangerous Navi faction introduced on screen. They operate as aerial raiders and pirates, attacking clans like the Talim and Tayrangi for resources. But crucially, they are the first known Navi clan to willingly embrace human technology. Their alliance with Miles Quaritch and the RDA is not coerced, but willingly transactional, weapons in exchange for domination. And this makes them the most dangerous clan on Pandora that combines human industrial violence and indigenous rage. But narratively, the Ash people function as a dark mirror. James Cameron frames them and often calls them the worst elements of the Navi. They are not villains that are born evil, but a case study in what happens when faith collapses, trauma calcifies, and survival becomes an ideology. Ash people build sculptures and tools from killed animals and other Navi, almost appearing as a death cult, but also rejecting returning the dead to Eywa. Varang also has a unique ability to dominate and torture other Navi through their neural cues. Although thematically disconnected from Eywa, Varang is unusually strong mentally, to the point that not only she can neurally dominate other animals, but she can also submit other Navi to her will, which is terrifying. It appears that Quaritch was the only one who managed to somehow resist Varang's neural invasion. Varang finds a true ideological counterpart in Colonel Quaritch. Both are shaped by militarism hierarchy and the belief that dominance is the only reliable path to survival. Their bond is both romantic and strategic, as both greatly benefit from their union. And this dynamic becomes especially compelling going forward as Quaritch now operates outside the formal structure of the RDA. In Fire and Ash, due to repeated failures to capture Jake Sully, Quaritch was stripped of institutional backing. However, he is still armed with the RDA's methods, so he mirrors the Menkwan themselves. Disavowed, unbound by doctrine, and free to pursue conquest on his own terms. And this leads us to two other distinct groups on Pandora that are not considered clans but still represent unique factions of the Navi. Avatars. Avatar drivers such as Norm Spellman and previously Jake Sully are human scientists who remotely operate genetically engineered Navi bodies grown from human DNA. The Avatar program exists primarily to enable diplomacy, research, and environmental study. By allowing humans to survive Pandora's toxic atmosphere and interact safely with the Navi. Avatar drivers remain biologically human, but their consciousness transfers into the Avatar body temporarily through Neuralink technology. This dual existence creates psychological tension, but it also allows deep empathy. Norm, for example, fully embraces Navi culture and ultimately becomes one of the strong human allies of Pandora. And at the end of the first movie, Jake Sully completely transfers his consciousness into his avatar body through Eywa. However, this transfer was almost a miracle and a one-time occurrence, as Mowat and the entire Omatikaya Clan prayed intensely to Eywa. Another interesting faction is recombinants or recoms. They represent the militarized inversion of the avatar concept. Recoms are fully grown Navi bodies implanted with recorded memories, personality traits, and combat instincts of deceased human soldiers. Colonel Quaritch and Lyle Wainfleet return as recoms, but unlike avatars, they are permanent beings. There is no human body to return to. They awaken already trained, loyal to the RDA, and psychologically oriented toward conquest. While they retain fragments of human memory and maybe even parts of the soul and consciousness, they are specifically created to fight Navi using their own biology against them. However, at the end of the third movie, Quaritch seems to question his loyalty to the human side, and he might even switch in Avatar 4. Besides these clans in the films, there are 16 more Navi clans from comics, games, and the extended lore. So let's quickly go over them. Anorai Clan is a desert bone artisan clan introduced in stage canon and lore books. Aranahi Clan is extensively explored in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It's a forest-based clan known for textiles, weaving, and communal craft traditions. Hulanta Clan, mentioned in extended lore, is a lesser-known clan believed to inhabit remote jungle regions. Omatikaya Clan is an extended lore clan with minimal description, likely forest-based and related to the Omatikaya. Tira Clan, introduced in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, is a swamp-clouded forest clan known for mask weaving and ritual silence. It would actually be really cool to see this clan in Avatar 3 when Jake with his kids went through swamp regions, but for some reason this clan wasn't shown. Kekunan Clan is another lesser-known clan from stage canon and guide lore. It's notable for legendary Ikran riders from the Hallelujah Mountains. Leonara Clan is mentioned in the extended lore with very limited information about it. But another important clan is Naïve Clan. It's introduced in a mobile game and it's known as the first clan in Navi mythology. Jake's emergence as Turuk Makto fulfills prophecies and traditions believed to originate within the Navi. Ryutanu Clan is an extended lore clan residing within desert-like highlands areas. Serentu Clan is introduced in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora as nomadic storytellers founded by the first Turuk Makto. The Tauni Clan is a minor, reef-dwelling Navi group aligned with the Metkayina, sharing the same ocean-based lifestyle values and spiritual bond with the sea. They were violently assaulted by recoms, and in the third movie they joined the battle against the RDA. Taukami Clan is a clan of forest alchemists and healers. It was first introduced in early games and later canonized through comics. Tupani Clan is introduced in Avatar the game of 2009, and it consists of elite silent jungle warriors wearing organic armor. Tomakta Clan and Tayrangi Clan are extended lore-only mentioned clans with minimal detail. In Avatar Frontiers of Pandora there is also a Zeiswa Clan. This clan consists of nomads bonded to Zakru herd beasts. That seems like a lot of clans, and I wish the movies explored some of them in more detail. Obviously their stories are way more elaborate in the extended lore, but I didn't want to spoil anything for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Avatar 3 if you've seen it already, and do you think we'll ever see Avatar 4 or 5? Also, like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more content. My name is Croft, and I'll see you in the next video.